Hello, hello, and welcome to Ernest Faison Show, PEG RITV. I'm so excited because I've been trying to nail this gentleman down, Mr. Jim Hirst, and he finally agreed to be generous with his time. Jim, thank you so much for being on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here, Ernest.
Yes, yes, yes. Why don't you tell the people on the sound of my voice just a little bit about you?
I started running in the mid to late 70s. I went to Chero High School. I guess my best thing I could say, outdoor track, I finished third in the state in the 2-mile. Qualified for the New Englands. After high school, I went to junior college for 2 years. They didn't have a cross-country or track team. So what I did, I joined in with a Westby Track Club with a lot of older gentlemen. And at that time, Frank Shorter won the Olympic gold in 1972. Yep. He was a silver medalist. So everything was focused to the marathon. So I ended up training with guys in their late 20s, early 30s, and took a serious beating every Sunday morning when we were doing 20-mile training runs. Finally got strong enough. My marathon best was only 2:34:53.
Only 2:34:50. I've never run one, so
yeah,
better than
well, you have a good friend of yours, Holly Roy Walton.
Yes.
Who's he ran all the Ocean State marathons, and Holly was always, I believe, in the top 10. So
yeah,
I know where I belong in the pecking order.
That's right.
But I've always stayed with it, and I've always enjoyed it. And when I couldn't run anymore, you always give back, as they say, pay it forward.
Pay it forward, that's right. Speaking of paying it forward, you're watching PEG RITV, the Ernest Faison Show. Thank you so much for being here. I float like a butterfly, and I sting like a bee. That man right there, who we're going to talk about, Ellis Tarzan Brown. And this man has taken it upon himself to actually pay it forward, as he said. And so we've been trying to get you on the show. Again, thank you so much for being here. So Ellis Myers Tarzan Brown, born 1913. Take it from there.
He was born in Wesley, Rhode Island. Later on, he moved to Alton, Rhode Island. And he, September 22nd, 2013, this would have been his, if we do the math, would have been his 112th birthday. Easy to remember for me because my mother was born on September 23rd, a day after. He was, again, he was born in Westerly. When he was 12 years old, he dropped out of school, worked with his father. His father taught him a lot of Narragansett Indians with stonemasons.
Yeah.
He taught him that craft. And before that, he also worked at the Wood River Junction Railway to help support his family. One of 8 kids. He was the 5th one to Otis and Grace Ethel Babcock Brown.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much the basics of who Tarzan was.
So that was nicely said and eloquently said, because a lot of people don't know about that name. Let it be known that Jim, how many marathons have you run, by the way?
I've probably run a dozen marathons.
Yeah. Well, that's a dozen more than I've run. The most I've run is like, I think, 10 miles, and I did get that runner's high, as they say, and almost nirvana, utopia type feeling. But then I don't know. And then what I did after I ran, I went to go lift some weights. So that was back when you were young and dumb and full, as they say. But I also, on my crew, I want you all to know on the sound of my voice, I have some very educated etiquette people with running. Got Mr. Bill Gray, who I'm looking at right now, my camera guy. He's run Boston Marathon before. And of course, the great Holly Walton, who's in the Rhode Island Runners Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
So I'm accompanied by some pretty good company, and I don't take that stuff lightly. That's why it was so apropos when we do this show, and to let people know that a Narragansett Indian won Boston twice, which is amazing, man, just to think about it. Oh, by the way, as the story goes, he ran the Boston Marathon barefooted or something because his equipment. You can attest to that.
Yeah, in 1935, 2 days after his mother passed away, one of her last wishes was for him to run the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
And he did. Uniform or a singlet and shorts were made out of one of his mother's dresses.
Oh, wow.
And the sister who made the uniform that he ran in, her son, Chief Sunrise, Byron Brown, who's part of our group, it was his mother, was the sister who made that uniform. Anyway, his shoes were falling apart at the 20-mile mark. He took his shoes off, threw them off because they were hurting his feet, and he ran the last 6 miles without the shoes. He finished 13th that year in 1935 without any shoes, and that just showed a inkling of his capabilities and what would the next year be his first Boston win.
Right. So I want to take this time also to say that his grandson, he's going to be down in Florida for 4 months, and he's agreed to graciously possibly come on the show and speak about...
Yeah, actually his nephew,
yeah.
His mother was Tarzan's oldest sister.
Right.
Who made the uniform that he ran in.
Okay. He's agreed probably in...
When he comes back, he's having an operation today.
Yeah.
He does go to Florida for a few months, and when he comes back,
yeah.
As this thing is, he sees this is going to happen. It's not talk about happening. This is going to happen.
Okay.
And
that's what it's going to happen. That's
yeah.
what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So I'm manifesting it right now, and I'm manifesting this right now. You're watching PEG RITV, the Ernest Faison Show. I'm so excited because I have Mr. Jim Hirst. He has taken it on a personal pilgrimage to accentuate and to put in neon lights the wonderful, the great Tarzan Brown. And I've heard a lot about the man. I know one of my mentors is Sagamore William Guy, who also knows Byron Brown. They all do. He's from the Pokanoket tribe. His great uncle was Simeon Simon, oh, by the way, who was George Washington's bodyguard. So yeah, we coming with some good DNA and gene pool here. The thing that struck me also was the fact that, and your shirt, you eloquently with your shirt, Tarzan Brown Memorial Fund. And thanks for bringing that on. And we came bearing gifts of all of the life history of Tarzan Brown, including a sculpture that you are spearheading and raising funds for, and it's going to be in Westerly displayed, correct? Can you expound a little bit more upon that?
Yes, what happened was a bunch of us got together, such an iconic figure in Rhode Island, we all being past runners, were at breakfast, and we said, you know, nothing's ever been done. Some things have been done about Tarzan Brown, but the man, to us, wasn't honored in the appropriate way.
Yes.
So we said, why don't we do something? Instead of putting it on everybody else. And the fact that he had passed away this past April, August 23rd of this year, we got together about a year ago at breakfast and decided we'll do something. Now, when you first get started, people think it's pie in the sky when you start asking for donations. So beginning was very rough in getting our name out. So now that we have the momentum, we...
Where are you in this process as far as completion?
The statue is completed. We got a sculptor from Western. We commissioned a sculptor. She did a clay model, life size, 5'7", which was his height.
Oh, 5'7", okay.
He was 5'7", so it's a life size. She finished that. We met a couple of months ago, kind of said goodbye. A company called Boccaccio in Massachusetts. They took him to be bronzed up in Canton, Massachusetts. He has been bronzed, so that part of the process has been done. Now the hard part is the finishing monies that we need to use.
And there's a website that we will show. Obviously, we cannot promote or sell anything because it is a 501c3 and public access, but there are ways to disseminate information to where people can go to your website and then do what they may. We'll say it like that. The other Native American in the history of the world to complete Boston, the only one other than Tarzan Brown was Thomas Longbow, who won Boston in 1907.
That is correct.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
He was from the Onondaga tribe.
In Canada, yeah.
In Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
Six Nation Preserve. He's in the Canadian Olympic Hall of Fame. Very accomplished distance runner.
Yeah.
He was the first, and Tarzan Brown was the second, but Tarzan Brown was also the only two-time Native American to win Boston.
That is amazing, and I've heard that name thrown around so much in Rhode Island because I've been here a little while, and I've been around people who run. My camera guys and Hollywood and Bill, I mean, they run, and we bounce these names off. And to have you in the studio, actually the point man behind this whole thing, I can't thank you enough because I've been trying to get this man or somebody who has the etiquette about this man into the studio. And as the Lord will have it, and here we are. So again, I'm thanking you again. And I'd like to ask you to stay with me because you're watching PEG RITV, the Ernest Faison Show. We are excited. We got Tarzan Brown representative. He is Narragansett Indian. He would be 112 years old today.
Correct.
He ran the Boston Marathon. He ran it all the way until almost like the 16th mile or 18th mile, and his equipment or his shoes buckled or whatever, and he ran the last 7, 8 miles barefooted. That's just amazing.
1935.
1935. Now, the other thing, he went to the Olympics.
That's correct.
1936. People, are you hearing me? 1936. There was another wonderful athlete. His name was Jesse Owens, the great sprinter Jesse Owens from Ohio State, who went up to Hitler and tried to shake his hand, and Adolf turned away. That's that famous scene there. And also the Tarzan Brown. Now, did he win a medal?
No, he didn't. He ended up dropping out at the 18-mile mark. He cramped up. He stopped to rub out the cramps. A German spectator came out to assist him. The race officials went by. You're not supposed to give any aid in any way, so they disqualified him from the event. Now, he could have finished, but he said, what was the point of finishing when you already disqualified me?
Yep.
So when he came back from the Olympics, a lot of people said, hey, he quit. He went over there and he quit. So what he did when he got back from the Olympics in '36, the only person, and I know Bill Gray is here, I know Holly.
I'm looking right at Bill Gray.
And Bill Gray's here, I know Holly Walton, the great Holly Walton.
Yes, sir.
They know of Tarzan Brown. Though Bill and Holly, a little bit older than myself. I'm pushing 70, and like I said, we met back in April at Holly's 75th.
Yeah.
They know who Tarzan Brown is.
Well, the most amazing thing, I did the math here, 36, that was 89 years ago. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I just remember seeing the great Jesse Owens running on that dirt track. He was so smooth and so fluid, man. It was as if he was pouring water. You know, Bruce Lee say, flow like water. It just, his whole head, it just was symmetry Is that what they call it? Yeah, symmetry.
Jesse Owens also won 3 gold medals in that Olympics. So that for all that Hitler was, the message, the politics that he was trying to put out for an African American man to win 100, the 200, the long jump.
That's right, the long jump.
I mean, it kind of put a kibosh on what he was trying to portray. So, but yes, but Tarzan Brown was in.
I won't get into all that what he stood for because that's negative. But what Jesse Owens did was to show grace and the love of the good Lord and humility and regalness. He was so regal, man, and smooth and dapper. And I watched documentaries on him. I mean, as a young, obviously I wasn't born, but I do reading. I mean, as a African American, to look up to a man like this, I mean, college educated, he was articulate, he spoke well. I mean, he let his work do the what he did on the track there, and Hitler couldn't do nothing with that.
No, his hands were.
Well, he turned away from it. Yeah. And Tarzan Brown, like you said, he jumped out of it. But I just wanted to give the history lesson as to the great Tarzan Brown being in the 1936 Olympics. And that was a big time Olympics. Jesse Owens, all back then there. As we move forward though, now when we look at this statue, people when they go to Westerly now, they'll be able to, when it does get erected, appreciate the great Tarzan Brown. And you're having something to do with that.
I am one of 5 people. Joe Pellegrino, who's our finance guy. We have a businessman, Larry Hirst. I met both of those guys when I was 18. We used to do our 20-mile runs. Another gentleman, Nick Batone Jr. Nick was a miler at Wesley High School, had the school record in the mile run. We have Summer Gonzalez, who herself is Native American. She's part of our group. And Tarzan Brown's nephew, Chief Sunrise, Byron Brown.
Yes, who I will be getting on the show. When he comes back from
I won't
Florida.
Rest until he does.
Well, that's right.
I
and
know
I'm
that.
Hold you to it. And I got you on tape, too.
I know.
You're watching PEG TV, the Ernest Faison Show. We're having fun. We're chopping it up. You're watching PEG TV, the Ernest Faison Show. We're chopping it up with Jim Hirst. Jim is spearheading organization to shed light on one of Rhode Island's finest, Ellis Myers Tarzan Brown. And there's a statue which has been erected or will be erected in Westerly. And Jim is one of the people who's making that become a reality. And I want to thank him again personally for being on the show. I've been trying to hunt you down all this here time, and you finally gave in, and we met at, I think, Holly, give me some dap on that. We met over that Holly's 75th birthday, man. And it's really an honor. I'm honored, and I'm humbled, really, for you to be here because I've heard a lot about this man. You come bearing all these gifts about this man's story, life story. Good-looking man. I mean, regal, smooth. I can love the women, that's for sure. I can definitely. I'm sure you can tell them stories too. But when you look now at the runners, is where I'm going, who have broken the guy from Africa. He broke the two mile or 2 hour marathon, 26.2. He broke that forbidden.
Eliud Kipchoge.
Okay, I knew it would be you. Now, a man like Tarzan Brown, who was so natural and so pure, what do you think he would run that? With shoes, and they were talking something about his shoes too, as Bill and Holly was telling me about the hookah shoe or something, which makes you spring up, whatever. Yeah. You still got to do the work. I think Tarzan Brown could have broke under 2 hours. Easy for me to say.
Nutrition is different.
Yeah.
Equipment's different. Training methods are different.
I'm saying you run the marathon in Boston, the last 8 miles barefooted. I mean, I just got to believe. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, when he won Boston, I think the first time, it was only the 40th anniversary of Boston. and Jerry Nason, who wrote for the Boston Globe for many years, and he was kind of considered an expert because for all the years that he wrote for the Globe, up to that point, he had seen many runners, and Nason was of the belief, and it's been written, that he thought the purest, most naturally gifted runner in the Boston Marathon was Tarzan Brown.
Well, there you go.
He had the gifts. I mean, physically, he had.
All right, that's what I was getting to. So let me do this. Let me pivot for a minute. I told you in the green room, because I let everybody come into the green room, and we briefed him, and I get my little notepad, and that way I don't look like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm going to give you about a minute or two to look into camera 3 and just express what's going on in your mind as far as this project, with your passion, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, Tarzan Brown, as we know, was born in Wesley, Rhode Island. He won the Boston Marathon in 1936 and 39. He grew up in poverty. No one would give him a break. He was discriminated against, treated very poorly. Our group, because he was from Westerly, and as runners, we felt justice needed to be served by building a statue. It's been a long process. We started this over a year ago. We had a little trouble getting going. The biggest thing is getting our the name out, what we're trying to accomplish. Many people are trying to raise money for different things, but the statue is going to happen. He will be in Westerly. We will have announcements as to when that's going to be. We're
Nice.
currently waiting on.
Yes, keep going.
We're waiting on the base, which should be a couple of weeks. Then after that, the statue will come down to be placed. It's all going to depend on the weather,
Okay.
because certain adhesives are going to be needed to complete the process.
Okay, very good, very good. I needed people to know that, man, because there are people in Westerly who live there who are not aware. And what you don't know can hurt you. Bill, how much time we got left? All right, that looks good. You're watching PEG RI TV, the Ernest Faison Show. Thank you so much for being here. Again, another Rhode Island legend, one that I've been trying to accentuate for a long time because we got a lot of runners here. My daughter ran track and for Pilgrim High School, and she was under the tutelage of the great Tom Spann. And a lot of people know about the great Tom Spann, and Tom knows about Tarzan Brown. You know about Tarzan Brown. I want those people there to know about Tarzan Brown. This is very, very important to me. It's not about Ernest. It's just Ernest just being blessed with this tremendous platform to be able to share these wonderful stories as this man, Jim, is eloquently delivering to us today. So we got about a few more minutes. I'll tell you this, when I look back at runners, I look at that Kip Keino and all of the Chip Choi and the Kenyans. I guess they come out of the womb running. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Do you ever see our training and where we're at that we can ever catch up with the Kenyans? That's a very good question. I don't think so, but maybe you got some thoughts on it.
Depending on what you hear, a lot of the Kenyans train in the Rift Valley in Kenya, train at altitude.
Oh, okay.
And that's what they do. That's all
Well,
that they.
expand your lungs.
That's what they all. Yeah, when you come down.
Yeah.
When you come
That's
down
just like the Denver Broncos at the Mile High City, 5,280 feet above sea level.
Right, and when you might play them at home at sea level,
Yeah.
you go there and the air is thinner, and by the time the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, you're winded, you're tired, because you're not used to.
That's exactly right. That was well said.
They're tremendously gifted athletes.
And they're slight of build, so they're not carrying a lot of weight either.
But
it's not like Paul with 26-inch arm. I threw that in there for shock value. My camera guy's he's over there. We love it. We have a good time. You're watching PEG RITV. I hope that you can feel the passion in my voice that I'm speaking about when I speak about this man. Ellis Myers, Tarzan Brown, and Jim Hirst eloquently disseminating the information to you. We got all these things on him, and we will definitely, on the easel, as the show goes on, I will definitely make sure that the people on the sound of my voice get to see all of these wonderful pictures, and also the fact that him in the 1936 Olympics with Jesse Owens, you know, amazing, man. This is history. You're never gonna get this type of stuff again. First of all, the world was different. We got social media and all this stuff. You know, it's just something totally different. So again, I wish you a lot of luck with that. Any way that I can help you to make that become a fruition, I'm also willing to do that. It's just been a joy to have you on the program.
The one thing I'd say about Tarzan Brown that hasn't been covered, like I said, the 36 Olympics experience probably wasn't all that he wanted to be. He was disqualified. A German spectator did come to help him massage his cramp. When he came back home, he is the only marathoner who won on the same weekend, won a marathon in Port Chester, New York. The next day, he made it up to Manchester, New Hampshire, and won that marathon too.
Yeah.
So he won 2 marathons within 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
He's the only
2 marathons.
And you can look up the records, and I'll buy you dinner for a month if you can show me someone else's, because it's never happened.
No,
I'm pretty self.
I don't believe I can. I think that I'd lose
you
the
look
bet.
it up, and
will.
I would tell your camera people to look it up.
Let me just say this.
I wouldn't make that bet if I wasn't 100%. You know, so
you have been watching PEG RITV. I hope we captured your imagination from a legend of the great Ellis Myers, Tarzan Brown. You, my friend, are representing him very well. As I said, you have a permanent place here at any time that you want to bring yourself back on and speak about this great man, because I believe in what he's doing. I'm part Native American also, so I feel some kind of way. And it's all about paying it forward, which is what you said. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching PEG RITV. He floated like a butterfly and he stung like a bee. He's so bad, he made medicine sick. He took my spot. It's the only thing he outshined, because it's never about me. I'm just a mouthpiece. I'm just so blessed to have PEG RITV to give me the opportunity to have special people like yourself to grace our stage and our seat here. It's been fun, but we've got to run. Get it? Let it be known that we'll try to do better next time. We feel like we did pretty good this time. Until next time, God bless. We out.
Thank you.
Bling, 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 bling. See the Rastaman do his thing. You see that bling, 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 bling. Hey, laddie man. Some people have the golden diamond ring, driving around with spinning rims, walking down the street in fancy things, but they really don't know anything. They just got bling, 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 bling.